In a serene village nestled among rolling hills, a loving father lived contentedly with his two sons. The younger son, brimming with youthful ambition, harbored a desire to explore the world beyond their tranquil home. He dreamt of adventures and riches, of experiencing life to its fullest. One day, with a mix of excitement and trepidation, the younger son approached his father with a proposition.
"Father," he declared, "I wish to have my share of the inheritance now, so I can venture into the world and make my own fortune."
The air hung heavy with unspoken emotions. The father, though saddened by his son's request, understood the yearning for independence that burned within him. With a heavy heart, but unwavering love, he divided his wealth and granted the younger son his due. He bid him farewell with a mix of hope and concern. Armed with his inheritance, the younger son ventured into a distant land. He arrived in a bustling city teeming with life, excitement, and endless possibilities. The world seemed to stretch out before him, ripe for exploration. In his newfound freedom, the younger son reveled in the pleasures of life. He hosted lavish parties, adorned himself in fine clothing, and indulged in every whim that crossed his mind. He was surrounded by friends, laughter, and endless entertainment. But time, like the sand slipping through his fingers, took its toll. The wealth that had seemed endless began to dwindle. The extravagant lifestyle started to lose its luster, and the crowds of friends began to thin. The once gleaming coffers were now bare. The son found himself alone, the laughter replaced by a gnawing emptiness. The vibrant city that once promised so much now seemed cold and indifferent. Desperate for sustenance, the younger son was forced to seek employment. He found himself working on a pig farm, a job that was both demeaning and physically exhausting. Hunger gnawed at him, and the stark reality of his situation hit hard. As he toiled in the mud, feeding the pigs, the son's thoughts drifted back to his home. He remembered the warmth of his father's love, the comfort of his family, and the abundance he had taken for granted. Regret washed over him. He realized the foolishness of his actions, the wastefulness of his choices. Even the pigs seemed to have more to eat than he did. The stark contrast between his past life and his present reality was a painful awakening. In the quiet moments of his despair, the younger son made a profound decision. He would return home not as a son demanding his due, but as a servant, willing to earn his keep. He yearned for forgiveness and a second chance. "I am no longer worthy to be called your son," he rehearsed in his mind. "But please, let me be as one of your hired servants." He prepared himself for humility, for servitude, for anything that would allow him to return home. With a heavy heart but renewed determination, the younger son began his journey home. Each step was filled with anticipation and dread, hope and fear. He walked towards the familiar landscape, towards the possibility of redemption. Meanwhile, the father, his heart filled with longing, watched from his window every day. He scanned the horizon, hoping for a glimpse of his lost son. His love never wavered. His hope never dimmed. One day, in the distance, the father spotted a figure walking towards the village. His heart leaped with recognition. It was his son, returning home after all this time.
Without hesitation, the father ran towards his son, his legs carrying him faster than they had in years. He didn't care about appearances, about what others might think. He only cared about embracing his child. The son, weary and ashamed, barely had time to speak before his father embraced him in a tight, loving hug. All the words he had rehearsed seemed to melt away in the warmth of that embrace. The son wept in his father's arms, his heart overflowing with remorse and gratitude. He knew he did not deserve this love, but his father's embrace told him otherwise. Without a word, the father led his son back to the village. He ignored the curious stares and whispered comments, his only focus on bringing his child home. "My son was lost, but now he is found," the father declared to the gathered villagers, his voice filled with joy and relief. "He was dead, but now he is alive again." The father called for a great celebration. He ordered the finest clothes for his son and prepared a lavish feast for all the villagers. It was a time for rejoicing, for forgiveness, and for the restoration of love. Music filled the air, laughter echoed through the streets, and the aroma of delicious food wafted through the village. The celebration was a symbol of the father's boundless love and the son's triumphant return. The younger son, now clean and dressed in fine clothes, sat beside his father at the head of the table. Contentedly, his heart was filled with gratitude and a newfound appreciation for the simple blessings of home. He learned that true wealth wasn't measured in gold, but in love, forgiveness, and the bonds of family. He realized that home was not just a place, but a state of the heart. The elder son, who had remained faithfully at his father's side, observed the celebration with mixed emotions. Annoyed, he struggled to understand why his father would celebrate the return of one who had squandered his wealth. The father, noticing his elder son's demeanor, approached him with gentle understanding. He explained that his love was not diminished by the younger son's mistakes, but magnified by his return. "My son," the father said, "you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate this return, for your brother was lost and is found." The elder son, understanding his father's wisdom, embraced his brother with forgiveness and love. The family was whole again, their bonds strengthened by adversity. And so the family lived together in peace and harmony, their hearts bound by the enduring power of love, forgiveness, and the unwavering echo of home. This story reminds us that no matter how far we stray, love always waits for us to find our way back home.